Hey guys, welcome back to some Gilded Guardians. Before we get into Kriez's curse, we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at what is going on with their patch notes. So you can see special event 5 began, which we're going to look at in just a minute. Endless season is up, arena week begins, and then we do have the 2 new heroes. Now overall, seems like Hannah might do a little bit of damage. Don't know exactly what Drib. We tried Drib out and I went and I ran this on my free-to-play account. Didn't do incredibly well within the new game mode. And again, we don't know the effectiveness of Hannah if she's going to be used. And of course, with these heroes, it's very expensive to build them. Now looking at the polish, this is massive, guys. Inspiration skip by refreshes cannot appear for a total of 10 refreshes. If you slow down, if you do this, this is going to save an asinine amount of diamonds. I've spent some days trying to get even with the current boss. I'm getting up Bulwark. It has taken 22, 25, 3,000 diamonds to get the one that the guild needs for the guild inspiration. That is a big change. Also, for artifacts in arena, public artifact skills no longer function in arena. That's right, the skills do not work, but the stats are still going to be there. So definitely making sure that you are equipping the artifacts on the heroes that are in there. Couple changes with Eerie Store and the Calling Crystal bundles, making them a little bit cheaper overall. Now 30% lower, also available in Eerie Store at a discount. And then, of course, Guardians who jump behind the boss will repossession in front of the boss. So this means no more turning around the boss. You have to know that. Oxalus's cute skill description has been fixed or adjusted, so it is the correct type of damage. So definitely some additional bug fixes that we've seen kind of all around here, including a lot of the crashing. But I want to look at this. Now, if you are familiar with this hero specifically, this hero is a pain in the butt. So looking at the guild rules, you have 3 legendary guardians. All guardians start at 1. The guardians can battle and gain EXP. Guardians in the squad who do not participate get 100% EXP. Now remember, you're going to have to change the gear between the Guardians, but the EXP is going to stay the same. Most of the time it was 50% or 70% that they got. Guardian skills upgrade as you gain levels, meaning that at the very beginning, before they're level 10, before they start getting more skills, it is going to make a big difference. All Guardians retain their initial enlightenment if they are Radiant Guardians. Radiance level is treated as if they are unascended. So this is pretty interesting. All Guardians retain their initial enlightenment. So I don't know, maybe if you have an enlightenment 15, if they're going to retain that, is what I'm thinking. In the dungeon, various gear can be obtained. The more rooms you clear, the better gear you'll make, which make sure you equip it. Some players don't understand that they have to equip the gear or actually change the gear between there. Points will be awarded on the rooms you clear. There are points will be determined from the commander's ranking on the leaderboard. Assassin's League will be ranked by the higher score. If you are defeated, you go to the nearest camp room that you started. So once you beat the boss, you start off at that camp room. And you'll also notice the points that you get will be significantly reduced from the floors that you have already done. If you give up on the current challenge and restart, all resurrection tickets will be returned. Some Guardians need to be owned before they're selected. This is the big change when it comes to owning these Guardians. Let's look at this one. But of course, this hero specifically has something that we need to look at. So attack the nearest enemy. Not too worried about the physical damage and the knockback. Not too worried about the last skill. This is the one. Summons 5 phantoms that have 30% of Kriez's attack, 50% of the defense, 50% of the HP, and last up to 10 seconds. The phantom selves have to be killed, and they have to be killed very quickly. If you have single target heroes, they are not going to kill the phantoms. He can actually, I've killed out some of the phantoms, and the phantoms actually come back before I have the ability to do a lot more damage on the boss. So single target damage on this boss is going to be incredibly difficult, which again is kind of by design is what I'm thinking. Shadow Shield, so if you do not, when attacking, he has a chance to pop a shield, which again can be very detrimental. Now looking at our rankings, they are shielding a lot of the rankings, that's right. Boom, both of these are shielded. And you'll notice right here is our new hero, Hannah, but overall, when you start looking in here and when we look, guess what? You have to own the hero. The hero is right here. Need to own this Guardian before selecting it. So when you think of Abba, when you think of these heroes, they are locked behind a paywall. If you are free to play, chances are you're not going to have the ability to get them at all, meaning you cannot use them. You'll also notice that I do have 1 copy of JD. And looking through here, so first row, you can see, again, if you're thinking complete free to play, all 4 of these bottom heroes probably will be locked in their entirety, meaning you're going to have no access to it. Looking up here, we have a really buffer supporter, a little bit of crowd control. We have an AoE damage dealer and also can freeze. We have a really solid tank. We have a really solid AoE target right here. And then, of course, right here, we do have our new warrior, our new Cinder warrior. But then we have Flicks. Thinking about this, guys, and looking through here, most of these heroes, including Balar, which of course is really good when it comes to the attack, even looking into Takati, I think it's Takati, that can provide a shield for another hero. You don't have any healing. They really didn't give us many healers at all in here. You know, you could use a couple different heroes in here as some crowd control, but overall, again, if you're looking at building out the heroes, if you're looking at building them, this is your tank. This is your AoE damage. That is going to be huge. Even my thought was going in with Grizel, having Grizel follow Liska. And then, of course, the AoE from Liska can also provide freezing. So again, keeping damage off my tank really, and almost bringing a secondary healer in addition to having Grez. Again, I don't know, and this is where we might mess it up, is if Liska doesn't produce and doesn't really shell out enough damage, or if we have right here with Cyrus taking too much damage, we might have some issues. Now, my other thought for the 5th is right here with Takata, just for the fact that we can actually shield this front line. So we'll have some pretty decent support in here, and I think this is going to be pretty good. But looking at Morax, looking at a couple other heroes, Morax provides a lot of crowd control. Now, in addition to that, is Morax can also crowd control all of the ads that the boss is doing. Again, something to remember when we're going in here. I personally want to run this. I want to see exactly kind of how it looks with the heroes that are in here. Now, also remember that the other heroes will get 100% of what you have. So honestly, within here, I would probably drop out Grizel, just me personally, because I have JD. JD would be essentially the replacement for Flicks within the formation, but we know JD also targets the area of the most damage target, which I'm assuming is going to be Cyrus, and what I'm assuming is going to be our tank, meaning we need some more damage and we need some more AoE damage because we have a little right here, but the rest of these heroes, not a lot of AoE damage at all. Even thinking of Baylor, if we could have Baylor actually amplify the damage that we're seeing on the tank, and I don't know if he'll go behind the target anymore, but that's going to be kind of interesting because even looking here at lists, this is one that we used before with the traps, and overall, I don't know, because of the defense reduction, if this is going to make a big difference. This might be one that we do want to try out in here. But again, the other thing is exploding the traps. You got to move the targets, even throwing the traps right here. But if we have the ability to stack essentially the defense reduction, that might make a really big difference. I kind of went through and seen, because overall, we don't want a lot of these heroes that are going to go kind of toe-to-toe or face-to-face with the boss. Even tried out Drib a little bit earlier. It didn't have, and I really didn't have much viability for Drib at all, which was kind of sad, but yeah, didn't see a lot of viability. Even looking at a couple, like maybe here would make a big difference with an intelligence mage. Again, thinking of someone that's not going to go front line. That way they're kind of stacking, or we could go JD the other way and stacking everybody in front line. Attack the nearest enemy, dealing 200% attack as magic damage, causing a silence to all enemies. And again, I don't know if the silence, the dizzy, all that is going to be enough in here to really amplify. That's going on with some of these heroes. Again, it's kind of a question. And of course, we can't and we do not own any of these ones. We could drop even both of these in here. We can try it out. We can see exactly who we're going to be using and dropping these heroes in here. Honestly, it's kind of a shot in the dark, guys, with a lot of these, because again, we're pretty limited to what we can do. But because we have that 100% experience that is going on everyone else, we want to make sure that we're kind of setting this up. Now, camp, you can see restore all Guardians energy. That is pretty good, but it's only for the Guardians. Getting dungeon coins early are going to make a difference with your ability to buy gear. As you get a little bit further, as you start doing refreshes in here, that is really going to make a big difference. Now, if you guys remember this formation specifically, looking at our tank. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this hero right here, oh, I don't think I can look at him in here, but I think we can get out of here and we can look at it. So there is JD. And then you know what? I'm thinking let's put in some of our range. Let's try a range damage dealer. Again, we could put Baylor in here. We could do a couple different heroes. We could also do, and I'm almost thinking with if we put flicks in there. But Takati does shield. So the ultimate ability Takati has is to shield, and he will actually shield, or it will actually shield Cyrus as well, meaning that if Cyrus is taking a lot of damage, we can up the survivability of both of them. And then, of course, getting the buffs and getting those heals from JD might make a big difference. And I really feel like it's going to make a big difference not having the rest of the heroes. Now, of course, Liska is going to AoE the whole entire place, which I love. And you have to make sure that JD with the ultimate, again, that your heroes, if you are utilizing JD, that your heroes are standing in the healing aura. So I might even take this one off, but I want to show you. Here's Edwin or Edwina. Edwindel? Windell. I think it's Windell. So there we go. So a couple more coins in here. Now here's the arsenal. Now when it starts out in here, we only pick up, really green is going to be better than anything else. So we're going to pick up the green one. Defense and evade, not going to make a big difference in there for a backline caster to be using this. We could also put JD frontline. Now JD is really good when it does come to tanking, but it also does require quite a few more and a higher level than what we have right now. And of course, we don't want to refresh it. We don't want to start buying these out really early until we start getting the higher tier gear. Now, of course, we left the ultimates off on this one. Cyrus going to do some Curse Blade. Here's a shield. Boom. And there's the absorption. So of course, now they're stacked. If JD casts, it's on both of them just like we want. Getting a little bit of heals. And I'm almost thinking saving everything until we do get to the boss. That way we can kind of unload a lot of damage. And I'll show you what I mean by the boss. When the boss starts summoning ads, Liska can actually take them out pretty quick, which is good. And we also have to make sure that we are equipping, again, anything that we're getting in our inventory. So even thinking of our tank we have in here, we can go ahead, we can throw some gear on there. Gonna increase the survivability, 6,000 more hit points. And then remember, every 5th floor is a little bit more difficult, and then every 10th floor is the boss. But Liska, I really do like. I really do like Liska and how the hero works and the damage she puts out and the crowd control does work pretty well. So here's room number 8. Now, after room number 8, remember, every 9th room is also going to be a special room, which again, I'll show you in just a minute. And there's the silence. So the back line, again, it just kind of sits there. But it is going to be another arsenal room, meaning we're going to have the ability, and you've seen we're only on level 9, meaning we haven't unlocked any of those secondary abilities. So in here again, looking for green, want to build up Liska as much as we can. So this is going to be one that we're going to be throwing on Liska, allowing the damage, allowing that AoE damage to go through the roof with a lot more attack. And I feel like this is going to work out pretty well. Now again, the boss. The thing to remember is you have double tanks here. Even if you did single tank with JD, that would probably work pretty well. But you need someone to take care of the ads. And that is where, again, so once the ads pop, there they are. Liska can ult, we can shield. Even JD can throw that up. I'm just going to go ahead and ult at this point. There we go. So now we're on the boss. So when he pops the ads, that's the issue, is when you have those little minions in there, you don't have the ability to get through, essentially. As you can see, now they're not attacking the boss. The boss is still at 32%. You got to get through all of these minions. AoE damage, of course, are going to get through them pretty well, but you have to get through all of the minions to get back to the boss when he does those. And of course, level 10 is imperative. 20, 30 is imperative for these heroes because at a legendary level, they need to get and really build up their skills. Here, again, we could do all Guardians energy. I'm going to do my treasure just to get some more coins out of here. But like I was saying, when we start looking at the heroes themselves, going into our party is when they start building them up a little bit further. Right here, close kick just unlocked. And then, of course, we have freezing arrow that comes up. Then we have charge shot. We have to level these up consistently, and really going through here, getting these legendary heroes takes a while. Even looking here at the stone skin, physical damage reduced by 70%. That is a big, big reduction in there. Got some crowd control, of course. And of course, we do have that shielding. I like the shielding for the attack. works incredibly well. Let's see if we can get through. Now, overall, I tried this and I do not have JD on my free-to-play account. I really don't have anyone on the free-to-play account. It's super, super basic with the heroes we're using in here. And then, of course, I took, like I said earlier, 3 heroes that we had to, including Liska, because I really didn't have anyone to take in there. But there we go. So we're at 100%. I'm going to save this for the boss. Now, the reason, of course, we could amplify some damage, we could do some more ultimate abilities, and overall, when it comes to the ultimate abilities in the boss, another way to kind of play this is we know when the boss is coming. We know every 10 floors the boss is going to be up, meaning I am not going to use any of my energy to go ahead and build that boss and really get that boss a little bit higher. And you can see we're at green right now. So green, we're going to keep. We're going to stay at green. I'm not going to do the refresh. I'm not going to do anything. I want to go ahead and throw that weapon on Cyrus. And Cyrus is essentially going to be my primary tank. We can swap out positioning. We can do a lot of different things to make sure that Cyrus is going to be the primary tank. And also you can see we have quite a bit here of coins. So we could use these coins, but I recommend saving them until you at least get to the rare gear, until you get to that blue gear. Does make a difference. Now, like I said here, room 15, as you can see, these are much tougher at this point because this is when the elite rooms start kicking in. JD, I'm thinking, boom, there's a heal. And you can see, this is the reason why you have to pay a very special attention to where JD is casting and where that is going to pop up. Makes a big difference with survivability. Now, we got through that room. That room, again, a little bit easier than we traditionally see. So going into the next few rooms, I'm going to turn off autos again. And I believe that's going to be nothing we're going to use right now because I think Liska's item was a little bit better. Let's hop in the party and see if that gear is a little bit better, which, yeah, what we have is a little bit better. But you'll notice down here, if we want to run Balar, if we want to run Lysix, we do have to gear them up as well. We can always sell the secondary gear, but if we wanted to, we could go ahead and run them. And like I said, I'm going to turn this off because we know we can auto like Liska. Boom. I'm going to go ahead and auto. That's going to take out this camp. Next one, I'm just going to go ahead and let them attack by themselves. I'm not going to use the ultimate ability. I'm not going to use anything because systematically we want to have this to a certain point. And of course, because we have all of our energy full on these heroes, there's no reason at all to go ahead and pick up when we go to our commander mode. There's no reason to actually pick up the ability to get energy at the start, which is a big one that players do get, but there's no reason to pick that one up. So Arsenal, again, we're waiting for the blue gear. So in here, we can do a attack and crit. Now, the big one with this is, of course, JD. All of JD's skills and abilities are based on the attack. So as we buff this attack up a little bit further, going to make a difference when we do get the hero built up again a little bit further. The heals are going to be a lot more potent for the hero itself. And here again, we get back to the boss. Now, this is where we do use our commander skills. Again, Order of Cinder, we don't need, we don't want. We already know our energy is maxed out in the entirety. See, even Guardians recovering HP doesn't make a difference. Doing a little bit more healing, not really a big difference. Order of Umbris, this could make a big difference with the boost, but it only lasts 8 seconds. That is the reason why I usually do Order of Solace, just because I want to keep these tanks alive. And if one of these tanks do happen to die, I don't want it. So there we go. So the ads are up, meaning Liska is up. Boom. We can even do our Cyrus ult, burning through these. And there we go. We'll pop this up. We know exactly where it's going to be placed. And as you can see, getting through the ads, that is the struggle that we're having right now, is getting through these ads. And you can see just like that, they're back, meaning we need Liska, we need this. There we go, getting that AoE damage out here. I feel like we can get them down pretty quick. And even there, you can see they're frozen. I have a lot of the animation off. That's why you're not seeing as much as you normally do. But even looking here, guys, we're not getting through much of the ads or much of the damage at all at this point. I'm going to turn on the autos. Now, this is going to do, of course, damage to the boss, but not a lot of damage. This is where I feel like we're lacking the damage to get through these ads. Like, we need a lot more AoE damage to get through. And you can see they're stacking, they're replenishing. These ads are coming back faster than I'm getting through them, meaning we need some more AoE damage in here. We need a lot more damage to be shelled out. so we can get through these ads a lot more efficiently. Because essentially, they're not going to kill us with the shields, the heals. Might run out of time, though. And time is what I'm worried about. We could have went in here for some more damage, which we might, and it might have made sense to do it. But again, I don't think we're going to be able to get through this boss fast enough. And I'm wondering if like a Baylor would make sense in here. We can slow it down. We can look. All right, so we know we're doing pretty good right there. JD's doing pretty well. But let's see even, wondering where we are. Yeah, see, 86K right there. I know both of our tanks, again, if we're running one tank, might make sense to even just run one tank in here. So if we swap out our tank and then we drop in someone like Baylor, I feel like that's going to do a lot more damage. To definitely get some amplification there to the boss. Let's see what we can do, because of course the AoE is going to make a big difference. Let's turn this off, which it went off a little bit early, but let's see if we can get some damage on there. See, now everyone's going to be on Cyrus. The heal dropped in the back. Don't know if that's going to make a big difference. But let's see with these crits if we can get through, because right there's Baylor. Boom. See, but now Baylor is the target. And look at all the ads on Baylor. Yeah, he's going to get burned down real fast. And I thought they couldn't go behind the targets anymore. Yeah. Yeah, Baylor's not going to work. Baylor's not going to work in this one. And I'm glad that we're testing them out. I'm glad we're seeing exactly what's going to work and what's not going to work. I'm almost wondering if right here, if this is going to work. And you know what? Let me swap out some of this gear, because I think our tank had a little bit of gear, and I'm wondering if the damage reduction is going to be enough to make a damage in here. But I don't think we have the skill yet. We do not. I mean, that adds 10%. Yeah, that's pretty good in here. And I'm wondering, where is our tank? Here we go. Let's remove that. Let's get a little bit more damage up. So it seems like it's just going to have to be the area of effect. It seems like that is going to be our only option. But if we're running one tank, I think we can do that. I think running all of these together. Let me turn this off. Again, we'll get Cyrus placed up front. Boom, there's our ads. And there we go. That should be it. Now we're putting out enough damage. And again, Cyrus, even though Cyrus isn't built up very much, Cyrus is a pretty tough individual. There's the traps too. And the traps went off. So we got the traps on there. That is really good to know. The Lizix is pretty decent in there with those traps. And I don't know if Cyrus is going to be able to take all this damage. Doesn't have that damage reduction yet. There we go. There's some AoE. There's our heal. Come on, let's unload on this boss. Come on, if we can keep Cyrus alive. Here we go. Traps are up. Here comes our ult and the heal. 7%, guys. We are close. That should take all the ads out, though. 3, 2, 1. Got it. We got it. All right. So let's look at what we got out of that. Oh, it's not going to show us the damage. All right, though. So we got through the camp. We got 20% there. And I think we can do this. See, we don't have to revive anyone. I'm wondering if... Oh, so this is literally just energy here. Not worth it. Not worth it at all for just energy. So I'm thinking boss-wise, we're going to have to tank out the damage. And here we should have no problem coming through. And I'm wondering even if Morax is in here. Both of them are going to do pretty good, because Morax, of course, is going to target, is going to hop to the back line. Boom. And that's some pretty decent crowd control. I do have to admit, I like Morax quite a bit. And the reason is hopping right to that back line. If Morax can take some damage in that back line, it really does make a difference with the hero. And again, thinking of shielding the tank, really being able to hold them, does work well. Even there, we got Morax in the heel. We got Cyrus in the heel. Morax actually might be pretty decent. And I'm almost wondering if we can get him to crowd control the boss's ads. Would, again, make a big difference. Right here. So look at this. We have rare. We already have epic. We are in here for epic. So this is what we want to look at. This is what we're going to focus on. Now, this is the point where we'll refresh this with diamonds. Gets very expensive, but we are looking for epic. That is going to work as well. 2 epic items out of there. One, of course, on our primary damage dealer. One on our tank. That is good to go right there. Again, gear, we finally got to level 21. There's our helmet. There is our boots, adding a lot more attack. Now the skills, again, are starting to kick in. We got the Blade Blast. We got the Piercing. We need the Tempered Defense. And then, of course, we did get the Sweet Dreams in here. So we got some crowd control from JD. Going to work very well. That is going to, again, add some more skills and abilities in there. Even here, the crowd control. Look at the freeze. The whole back row is just sitting there. Oh, I like it. I like the combination. When the heroes work in unison, when they work in synergy, it is something that I love to see. There are some boots. And again, thinking of a boss, we're going to be able to boss, to go ahead and tank pretty hard. I don't know if I'm going to put anything on Morax right now. I think I'm just going to kind of watch and see where and if we do need to gear him up a little bit. Because now at this point, Cyrus's gear is going to start changing because we have a couple more heroes, but he's geared. So we already have gear on Cyrus. So again, it's going to start changing the dynamic of the team because they are geared up. But we need damage. We need a lot more damage in this team. Liska's not going to be able to do it. And let's turn off auto. Boom, there's the crowd control. I really do like that for Morax. I just don't know about the ability to mitigate a lot of damage with Morax. And it seems like those traps were pretty big. All right, damage. Let's see what we got. So here we got Broken Helmet. Again, crit rating, that could help quite a bit for Liska. Even here, we have a lot more of the HP. You know what? Let's pick up both these. And I think we can make this work. Because this is going to be the boss fight. And I don't think we have enough to go. No, 80% right there. So let's go back to what we had before. So again, this is going to be more defense, more power, but we also have more crit in there. And I feel like, honestly, I'm going to take this one off. This is, again, survivability that we have right here. Defense rating, not too worried about it. Let's throw some more of the damage dealing on some of these other heroes. Thinking that's pretty good. So let's try with the formation we had and see what we can do. Let's turn off the ults, which we got it off. Want the ads, and there we go. Burning through those ads as soon as we can. Ooh, he's taking a lot of damage here. Even with the gear. Yeah, Cyrus is going to get melted down. And I'm wondering if we might have to get... Let me try it one more time. Even there's the ad. So the ads start taking damage pretty easy, or pretty early on that one. But yeah, Cyrus doesn't have the damage mitigation yet. Wow. This might have to be 2 tanks, which I don't know if damage-wise we can handle doing 2 tanks. I'm almost wondering, let me put JD up front. The reason being, I don't want them hitting Takade. There we go. So we got a shield up early on Cyrus. Got the AoE right in there. I'm hoping we can mitigate some of the damage. But look at Cyrus, guys. Wow. Might even have to go double healer in this one. And I feel like some of this is just without us having the access to those other heroes. Is going to make a big difference. Even double support. Yeah, we're gonna get work through here. We're gonna have to try to figure this out, see if we can get through. But guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.